Hi, Jack Jellies here. So what I'm going to do today is show you a very simple technique of applying glass instead of setting a gemstone. Many of the designs have these fiddly little openings that call for small stones, and as much as I love doing that, it can be handy to have a quick way to add some beauty to your pieces. Many people are intimidated, however, by using the glass enamels. This is one way you can get into it very quickly. So what we're going to do is a version of Plique Jour to make a pair of earrings, several pairs of earrings like these. And instead of setting little 3mm stones, we're going to put a dollop of glass in there and fuse it to the metal. It's open in the back and the glass is transparent, and so it gives a particularly beautiful design. The Plique Jour means literally letting in the light or seeing the light, and it's reminiscent of stained glass windows. And I've really enjoyed doing this technique in a variety of ways, and it can be done in more complicated ways, but it doesn't have to be. And so this is my effort to show you a relatively simple way to begin doing this. Okay, now that our silver earrings are prepared, we will set up to do some real simple enameling. You don't need to invest in a whole load of enamels. I happen to have a large collection, but just get 2 or 3 colors that you like. Here's a nice transparent aqua blue. So we're gonna do some aqua blue earrings in this batch. So I'm going to start by putting some of the dry enamel in a container, and then we're going to rinse it. And the reason we want to rinse it at least a little bit is because the very fine enamel, this is a pretty standard enamel, but the very fine enamels are going to give you more of a cloudy appearance. So you rinse off as many of the fines as you can. You don't have to go crazy with it, because frankly with this little teeny area it won't be that important, but it's not a bad habit to get into. It just makes the transparent enamels more clean. Okay, yeah, so there we go. So we've rinsed that. Now the only trick, if any, that there is to doing this wet packing in an open area is you want surface tension of the water to hold the glass in the opening, and so it's a matter of getting it just right. And so what I use is a little tissue. This is just toilet tissue, which is great for absorbing water, and that's what we will use to try and regulate the moisture of this. And then you can pick up a little blob of it on the end of a pin or a toothpick, and we're going to use that to place into the opening. So we'll just build up a little area of enamel first. Here we are with our enamel, pair of enamel earrings, or silver earrings, and I'm going to see if I can get a couple of dollops of this moist enamel and see if I can't place it into the openings. Yep, there's one. And we'll do with the other one. And what I found for something about this size, these are 3mm openings. You're probably going to need 2 applications of enamel. So the first one may not entirely fill the void, but that's okay. Then we'll use it. We'll do a second one. So I'm going to risk putting a little more on that. And since I did that, I better add a little more here, because I don't like them to be completely asymmetric. It's not bad if they're a little bit, but there. So we've got 2 pretty good sized dollops of glass in those. And now what we do is we allow those to dry. So we let those dry completely, and after that I'll show you how to fire them. Alrighty, let's see if we can fire these. You can put them on a screen if you like. I prefer the control of having them open. So what I'm going to do is have a flame that's it's a little bit hot, but it's not too bad, and I'm going to go around it first. Let's make sure that the enamel is dry by heating it a little bit. And once we see that it's dry and it's not popping, we can bring the flame a little closer. One thing you can try to do is avoid spending a great deal of time directly with the flame on the glass. You'd rather heat the metal and let the metal heat the glass. So it's not unlike soldering in that respect. Because see, when that flame goes yellow, that carbon You don't want that mixing in with the glass. So there it's melting. You wait till it melts completely and then back off gently. And there you have it. So that's the first one done. All right, let's try a second firing. Again, I'll need to make sure this is dry, so I'll take a little bit more time to. They didn't wait quite as long on these, so I want to make sure that it is dried out. You can almost always tell the granular enamel will turn lighter in color as it dries. Okay, so you get rid of the water. And the reason you do that is you don't want the grains of enamel to pop out at you when the water starts to boil off. So you'd rather it gently evaporate. There's all sorts of tricks to do this. You can use a piece of tissue to do it, put it at the edge of a kiln, and just let it sit for an hour. I didn't let it sit quite that long. Okay, so it's almost there, I think. Alrighty, so now I'm going to again come in, heat the metal, it's beginning to melt, the glass is turning liquid, and it's going down into a puddle, completely filling that gem setting. Now there it's sugar, and I want to now back off gently. There, and we're good to go. So what I'll be doing is what I do is I unmount them from this, and then I just let them sit for about 5 minutes, and then I put them in water to cool them off rapidly. You don't want to shock them immediately. The glass can easily crack that way. Now, as I mentioned, you don't have to do this. I'm going to put them in with another pair of earrings I've made. I like to do this with these because even though I'm going to be taking the ear wires off and oxidizing them and then polishing them some more, the handmade ear wires come out very nicely and do really well after being in the pin polisher. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all these in for about 15 minutes or so. You can go 15 to 30 minutes, that's all it usually takes. And we'll put this in the magnetic pin polisher and turn it on. Now, you can certainly leave these bright silver if you like. These are right out of the pin polisher. But I like, for this design, I like to oxidize them. It helps bring out the color, the bright color of the little glass jewel. And for this I'm using Black Max, which is an acid and a heavy metal. So what I'll do is just dip it in, give it a few seconds. There we go. And it looks pretty nice that way. Now, before you do anything else, you neutralize the acid. I use a solution of sodium bicarbonate or baking soda, and I do that with my pickle as well. So I'll just oxidize all of these to about the same extent, and then I'll give them a final little polish to bring out the highlights. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Okay, clearly there are hundreds of different ways to finish these. Depends on the look you're going for. I kind of like to do this with them. Now just be careful not to touch the glass. But that gives them a really nice finish. Very pretty with the oxidation in the recesses and the bright gem showing through. Yep, I like that. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Again, you can skip through pieces and review pieces, whatever is most useful for you. And if you liked it, feel free to subscribe. I'm not exactly what you would call a high content creator. I just enjoy teaching. And now that I've retired from the university, I really do love teaching what little I know and helping people achieve creative goals. So with that, have a great day. Peace.